PAX. Journey Home. Chapter 15. At the sound of human voices, Pax awoke, instantly alert. His daughter was curled between his forelegs. He extricated himself without waking her and crept out to peer down into the valley. The mid-morning sun shone on the burned meadow. No breeze stirred, and there was no sign of the humans, but he heard their voices again. He climbed up to the top of the ridge to look back north. Below, the same men were back, huddled together at the creek in their bright green vests. They lifted chunky cans, and Pax watched as they spread apart, 2 on each side of the creek. They bent to the grass, igniting small flames, and then walked west, lighting more along the way. The fires crackled and jumped into rolling carpets on either side of the creek, cutting Pax and his daughter off from their route home. Pax hurried back and woke the kit. He led her to the top of the ridge and crouched low with her. Fire. Learn the scent. The little vixen sniffed. She squeezed her eyes against the curls of smoke. Run for it. Fire is always hungry, even when it is human-tamed, like this one. The kid's gaze swept at the valley, then her eyes widened. Those are humans? Pax saw her surprise at the brightness of their coats. They have no need to conceal themselves. They are not prey, but humans are not always green. He remembered how Peter would add or peel off layers all day. You cannot know them by their color. They shed their skins at will. His daughter shrank back under his legs. Dangerous. Pax looked down at the men, standing together now, watching over their fire. In the year that had been living free, he had met no other fox who had loved a human as he had. But he had learned that most were comfortable living alongside them. Bristle's terror of them was unusual, but it was fair. She had lost her parents and a sister to the humans. She had lost her bushy tail. Her brother had lost her leg to them at the broken hill. Bristle would teach her kits what she'd learned. Dangerous, she confirmed. Stay away. We must leave now. We cannot retrace our trail back. To the east, a river flows. We will cross to it by the ridge, then follow that river back home. River? Endless water, rushing like a great wind. Its path leads from the reservoir south to the broad valley and beyond. We will meet that river and then follow it upstream to the reservoir, and we will be safe from the fire, because fire will not cross water. Pax was certain of it. At the place where the war-sick humans blew up the earth, the flames had stopped at the river every time. Water always defeats fire, and so fire respects its territory. At first, the kit kept up with Pax's easy trot, scurrying behind him on her short legs, but she had to clamber over the rocks, fallen branches, hillocks of grass that Pax cleared without pausing, and over she stopped to sniff at everything that might be food. When Pax caught the scent of a rabbit warren, he ordered her to stay hidden and motionless while he caught a meal. He dropped the rabbit in front of the kit, but she only nosed it, then looked up, expectant. Pax remembered how Bristle fed the kits, and he chewed the soft belly meat and offered it back, as he had seen her do. The kit gulped the food until her sides bulged. They set out again, their pace slower this time. As the sun set, the little fox began to stumble in her exhaustion. 3 times Pax attempted to pick her up by the fur of her neck, to carry her across a rough patch, and each time she yowled her indignation, squirming until he let her down. By the time the crescent moon rose, she was staggering. Pax felt tired himself. He looked over the ridge for a less exposed place to rest. At the base of a short cliff, he saw a flat basin of scrub. They angled their way down, both of them sliding on the scree of shale and flint. At the bottom, Pax found a nick in the cliff. The spot was well protected. If any intruder entered from a cave, from above, a cascade of sediment would wake them. If any came from the front, the dried stems of the underbrush would rattle. He smelled neither prey nor predators. In fact, no animal life at all. Still, he felt anxious. He circled around in the hollow and settled down. The kit curled up beside him, closed her eyes, and fluffed her tail over her little pointed face. Pax waited until he was sure she was asleep, and then set out to patrol the area for dangers he could not scent. Nothing stirred in the scrub. More surprisingly, there were no fresh trails. Not the broken twigs of deer, not the trampled paths of a raccoon, not even the underbrush tunnels of rodents. Past the scrub was a row of tall bare pines. Slices of dark pond glinted between their silver trunks. Pax sniffed. The water smelled strangely of metal, like the insides of his boy's car. He could scent none of the things that usually grew in or around ponds. He crept to the shore. The pond was a perfect oval of blackness, so still that each star was reflected on its surface. Nothing moved along its edges, which were littered with bleached bones. He relaxed. There was no danger here. He drank and then slipped back to the hollow in the cliff wall and curled himself around his daughter. She did not wake, but she coughed in her sleep. In the dry cloth, Pax heard a need for water. When she woke, he would lead her to the still, safe pond.